Greetings, metaphysicians. This is a special episode. It is the beginning of season 9. It is the celebration of the Let's Get Meta podcast's 8th anniversary, and it is episode 193, Naturally Divine. Enjoy the episode.
You're listening to Let's Get Metaphysical. This podcast explores the spiritual and metaphysical world through the experiences and opinions of the host and those interviewed. It should not necessarily be seen as direct endorsement or personal advice to our listeners. We encourage you to use your own discernment, judgment, and intuition regarding anything you learn from this show.
Let's get meta.
Welcome to the Let's Get Metaphysical podcast. I'm your host, Renata Maniaci. Here to remind you, you are a spiritual being currently having a temporary human experience here on lovely planet Earth. Enjoy it. This is season 9, and this is episode 193, Naturally Divine. And we will see just what this season shapes out to be. This is what came through today. So if you're ready, let's jump right in. Let's get meta. Master Angels, I humbly request your presence, guidance, and support through this episode. Please help these words to be useful to all listeners on their evolutionary journey. Let me know the truth, speak the truth, become the truth, and be the truth. And please let this episode reach whoever needs to hear it. Thank you with full faith. Bless creation. Oh my goodness, it has been a minute. I took a little smidgen of a break after season 8 ended in March. And that was an endeavor. It was a beautiful season. It took a year to produce that season, and I am grateful that we were able to do season 8 Angelic Reformation. I hope you enjoyed it. We had over 50 people share their very own personal stories with Angelic Reformation tools, and I think that it's exactly what I was envisioning, to share tools that can help us become more us, more of our true soul selves. And that's what I want to talk about, I think, in this season. It's really what I talk about in every season. Let's be honest. The first thing I say in every episode is that I'm helping to remind you that you're a spiritual being having a temporary human experience here on this planet at this time. That's all this is about. Whether anyone listens to this or not, it seems to be that is the key message, and that is why this episode title, Naturally Divine, came in today. But before I keep going on that, it is Let's Get Metaphysical podcast's 8th anniversary. The first episode I ever published was May 1st, 2018. And so this month is our 8th year, which I can't really believe. This is something that, as many of you who have been listening for a long time already know, came out of literally my angels starting to yell at me. And this is not for money. This is not for fame. Obviously, this has never been for any reason other than being asked to do this, or rather kind of angelically forced into doing this, which is totally fine with me, which is why we only have 2 episodes per month. This is so far from the normal trajectory of people doing podcasts and the reasons that people are doing podcasts. I would rather not necessarily be known and not necessarily be heard by anyone who doesn't want to hear me. It's not about getting out there and having a platform or even having a brand, if you will. It never has been. So it is exactly what it is. And that is where we are now with my shifting life and my shifting schedule. I am really busy at the moment with both work and getting a doctorate, which is why I needed the little break in April. We will see what comes this year, whether there will be 2 episodes a month per usual or less than that, depending on the schedule. This whole podcast has been an evolution. It's grown and changed and morphed and shifted, and it's always been the metaphysical meeting in with the physical, and it will remain that way. But this has evolved so much. I started my first 3 seasons in 2018 through, I think, 2020, having guests who are experts in their various fields. And I have to tell you, I love having guests. I loved having guests. And I find that I am much more comfortable interviewing people than I am just speaking on this podcast, as I have been these last several years. But I do what I'm told, as far as I can tell, from my angelic guidance. And I know a lot of you are living that life as well, listening to your high self, listening to your soul, listening to God, listening to the angels, listening to whatever your higher power super friends and guidance is and appears and looks like. And hopefully it is of the light. It's very easy to tell if it's of the light or not, but that is what I've been doing. And at some point, my last guest was during season 5 of my podcast. I've just been looking at my website. I have a website. It's at letsgetmeta.com. And I don't really expect anyone to ever go there and see it. But I'm just looking through and seeing that my last guest was Dr. Norma Milanovic, who I absolutely adore and was specifically one of my mentors, in the sense that her book just helped to wake me up. One of her books, The Light Shall Set You Free. And that was my last guest back in, I think that was 2021, if I'm seeing right. We went from the first 3 seasons of me interviewing experts to season 4, which is the first time I talked about Master John Douglas's work and shared all kinds of testimonials from people being healed in all different kinds of ways through his work. And then I went through season 5, 6, and 7, mostly on my own, with just a few guests in season 5 before I went from season 6 and 7 on to just being me. And then, of course, last season, we got to hear a whole bunch of voices about angelic reformation, sharing their experiences with that spiritual technology and those tools for allowing more of your divine self into your human body. And that's where we have landed. We are naturally divine. And that is not only the point of this episode, not only the point of probably this season, it's the whole point of the podcast. And at this point, it almost doesn't matter what is said in this way. If you're hearing this, you're supposed to hear it. And I'm assuming you're getting something from it if you're still here. So we are pieces of the divine that have broken off from God, the all that is, the creator of this whole creation. I used to have a really hard time saying that word. I got, cloudy here in this planet with all of the religion and the dogma and the rules. And I'm not saying any of that is wrong or bad, and some of you might have different opinions on that, but it was really difficult for me to use the word God. And so I used the word universe, used the word creator, used the word all that is, the divine, supreme God. And now it's just faster to say, so I say it. But it's this sense that literally we all came to this planet as sparks of the divine and incarnated into physical human bodies and are living our lives. And this life is just one of many lives. And this planet is just one of many planets in many solar systems, in many galaxies, in the multiverse. And that is unfathomable on some level. But as I'm here celebrating this 8th anniversary, this unexpected 8th anniversary of the Let's Get Meta podcast, I'm going back to the roots of what this is. And this is essentially just a reminder. It's like you putting a reminder on your phone saying, I'm not human, or I'm just playing this role right now, or getting the card in the mail saying, hey, remember, you're divine. That's all this is, I think. It's just a reminder that on some level, our divine selves, our souls, chose to come here. Why? I don't know. That's the fun of it. We go through a veil. We go through a veil where we are not allowed, most of us, the grand majority of people, are not allowed to remember your true divine self while you are incarnated in a physical human body on this planet. Why? I don't know if any of us would do it if we remembered. If we remembered what there is beyond this. We say that this podcast is Let's Get Metaphysical, and we are living physical lives. It's just about remembering everything that is literally around us all at once. And why can't we remember? It's part of the soup. It's part of the plan. It's part of the way things work. And why come to this planet? This is a 50-50 planet. We've talked about that. What does that mean? That means pretty much black and white. It means 50% good, 50% bad, or easy or difficult, or whatever. Like, it's a 50-50 planet. Not all planets are like this. So why did we choose to come here? Or why were we encouraged, perhaps, by our guidance teams, our angels, our divine counsels to come to this planet? Well, in every lifetime, we think, say, or do things that creates karma. And we live off of that karma. We live off of whatever is in that karmic bank. If you have a lot of positive karma in your karmic bank, you're probably living a pretty decent life. Good life. Stuff still happens. We're on a 50-50 planet again. And also, if there is karmic debt to be paid based on what you thought, said, or did in your past lifetimes, including the past of this lifetime, that will play out. It's really simple. It's pretty simple. Every single thing that happens to you, you are responsible for. And I know some people have a really hard time with that concept that literally if you stub your toe, it's your fault. That literally if someone slams into the back of your car and you get a fender bender, it's your fault. It's your responsibility. It's your karma. But I tend to find it kind of comforting that we actually have that much say in our destinies. It's annoying because we can't remember why we deserve something. We can't remember what we did to deserve whatever we are getting right now. That's tough. You would think it would almost be easier if something negative, especially the negative things, the positive things, we just kind of accept, oh yeah, I deserve this. I'm entitled to this. This is a lot of people, myself included. If this happens, it's like, oh yeah, good, yay. Like I deserve this. But when something negative happens or something that's more challenging or difficult or sad or scary or horrible, right? We don't see those little pictures of our past that led us to that moment. And because we don't see that, we don't think it's fair. We don't understand why it's happening. We don't think we deserve that kind of treatment or behavior or illness or situation or breakup or whatever it is, or accident. We don't think that we deserve that because most people don't recognize reincarnation and karma. Well, I won't say that actually. So many people on the planet do. This culture, it's not widely known or accepted. But if that were the case, if that is truly how it worked, that literally everything that you experience is your responsibility. It's not random. It's not an accident. It's not out of something that shouldn't have happened. It's all divinely interconnected with every past life, thought, speech, and action that you've had in your soul's journey. That at that moment, that is what the universe and your karma is delivering to you at that moment. It's so difficult when you can't see what caused it. I've had just little imaginations and thoughts that it'd be so interesting if, like, when something happened, a little television screen popped up, like, in front of us, and it played the exact scenario that brought you to this present moment and that thing happening, right? Maybe it's from 7 lifetimes ago and you were doing XYZ, or you said XYZ, or you killed this person, or you blew up this thing, or you said this lie to somebody, right? And when you stubbed your toe, or when you slammed into somebody's bumper, or et cetera, you literally had this little TV open up and show you what led you to that moment. I can't make that happen. I'm not even good at remembering my own past lives. I've had glimpses of a few of them. Some people have way more than me, and some people have zero idea. No idea at all of any of their past lives, their past feelings, their past relationships, where they've been. And a lot of people who do have those just assume it's on this planet. And a lot of us have incarnated over and over and over on this planet, myself included to some extent. And I have this knowing I've been other places too. And maybe you do too. Maybe this has never felt like home to you. There's so many people here, especially the ones who are some kind of spiritually inclined or attuned or sensitive to things. There's so many people here that know that this is the first time that they've been on this planet, because it just doesn't feel right. So many of you listening have watched the stars at night and have felt more comfortable looking at certain constellations than you may have ever felt being here. And that's perfectly and naturally divine, like we all are. The point is, what is the point? The point is that we are here to have experiences. Our souls incarnate to have these experiences, and we aren't allowed to remember what came before, for the most part. And here we are in, dare I say, a most exciting time on the planet. And I don't mean that in any positive or negative way. It's just what is. This is what is happening right now on the planet. And why are we here right now? Why are you here right now? What's the point? Why now? There are other planets, perhaps, that have a different ratio than we do. We have that 50-50 planet ratio. But other planets, what if they have 60-40 positive, or 70-30 positive, or 90-10 positive? Or God forbid the other way. Can you imagine? I don't want to. This is such an interesting balance because here, 50-50 is normal. That is completely normal. But if you were on a 90-10 planet, that would be normal. That would be the balance that we see as 50-50. It's so hard to imagine that. So what do you want to do with that knowledge that we are these sparks of the divine? We're having a human lifetime. We get so embedded in our human lifetime. I get embedded in my human lifetime. I'm writing papers right now. I mean, in the divine sense of things, in a big picture of all the lifetimes I've had, why spend it writing a literature review? You know? I mean, it can be funny. It can be hilarious. But that is part of the path right now in this incarnation for me. You know, I mean, sometimes I just get really, I'll go and play pickleball, or I'll go and eat Indian food, or I'll go and meet friends to play euchre. It's just so funny that a divine being in a body is doing these human, normal, earthly things. But that's part of it. Why do I want people to remember that they are souls having a temporary human incarnation? Because it makes it easier for me. I'm not saying this is the worst planet to be on, because it's not, but it's not the easiest either. This planet is made for hardships, and for some reason, we all incarnated here because we were vibrating at the frequency that this planet demands, right? If we were vibrating at a different frequency, if we had different karma, we would have incarnated to a different planet where that frequency and that karmic resonance was aligned to ours. This is it for us. We're here because we could not resonate right now with the 90-10 planet. Over the time and over our soul's journey, I feel like eventually we will. And you'll move to different lifetimes and different places where the frequency is different. As we grow, as we evolve, as we learn, as we pay off our karmic debts and don't create new ones, by the way. Every single day we have the opportunity to create positive or negative karma or neutral karma. What do you want to put in your karmic piggy bank? The souls that have been here for 500, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 lifetimes, maybe it's because this planet is hard to accumulate positive karma depending on your lifetime. It is so easy to be corrupted here. Because if we have equal light and equal dark, so to speak, I mean, geez, that is an opportunity to be corrupted in any way, in whatever way. And there's so many things on this planet that can do that and sneak in, and you think is good, and not just you, me. We think is good. We think is divine. We think is getting us closer to God. We think we're doing the right thing, saying the right thing, following the right people, the right organizations, giving money to these people, that people, believing this, believing that. And our good intentions do count for something. If you truly have the intention to do no harm, that counts. But on this planet, it's so easy to be led astray. What is negative for us and adds to our negative karmic piggy bank is so easily cloaked in beauty and shiny things and nice things and good feelings that we think that we're doing right. We think that this feels good, so it must be good. Now, there's a whole other side of this planet where people and beings are intentionally dark. Their intentions are negative. Their intentions are dark. That's a whole nother story. And I don't like to put attention on it. We all have free will. We can all choose what we want to do, where we want to go. The difficulty is when we have good intentions, good souls. We want the light. We seek the light. And then something comes in sideways and distracts us. And we think that that is good and light. And it's not. And that's part of it. It's part of the makeup of this 50-50 planet that is going to happen. So how do we discern truth? Not super easy on this planet. There are tools. I've talked about many of them. I'm not going to go into them in this season. If you're curious about some of those, re-listen to season 8. But without things like that, there's literally just staying clear, keeping your human vessel clear of things that are known to confuse it or cloud it or fog it or dirty it. We all know what those things are. This is one way to stay clear. The clearer your vessel, the clearer you are able to discern what's right and what's light and what's true and what's divine and what's true for you in this incarnation, in this journey, in this lifetime, and what is going to help your karma and pay up your karmic piggy bank into the positive. Now, some people love being here. They've been here for so long they don't know anything else. In terms of lifetimes, why would you ever want to leave Earth? I mean, seriously, there is an argument to be made that this is probably one of the most exciting planets in creation. There are so many things to do here. Good, bad, ugly, everything in between. Thrilling, boring, all of it. So on that level, why be anywhere else? Right? But after 10,000 lifetimes, it might get boring and you might want to evolve and move and eke your karma up into the great positive number so that your vibration rises, so that upon leaving the body, at some point, your frequency has changed and you can now go to a 60-40 planet or a different 70-30 galaxy, something like that, on the journey of the soul to return back to source. So we are naturally divine. And however you want to remember that in any given situation is up to you. I forget it still frequently. There's so many things that just pull us out of our divinity, pull us out of our high self. You're determined to get there. You're determined to stay and to remember that this is all just a play, this is a role that you're playing, that there is so much more unseen woven in and around us that we have any remembrance or concept of. I think this is why so many people have been drawn towards various types of meditation, because several types of meditation do, in fact, bring you to that still point where you can access your divinity within. We all have it. And if we can become silent enough and still enough to feel it and to remember it, I think that a lot of people have found that that is worth doing. It's a good endeavor, and then you can take that into your material earthly life with you. But it's not everyone's journey in this incarnation to evolve. Some people will stay stagnant, relatively speaking. But it's people who are interested in the spiritual, the metaphysical, evolution, ascension, angels, God, transcendence, that are probably interested in at least inching forward along the evolution of your soul's journey in this lifetime. So remembering that you're divine in some way, whenever you need to, for me, it helps. It helps me to laugh at situations that I would otherwise cry about. I was recently reminded or asked to stay in a higher level of consciousness before I do anything. So, for example, before recording a podcast episode, before going into a meeting, before going to class, just bringing myself into a higher state of consciousness. And it's hard to remember to do that. And so what I did, and it's been working pretty well, is I painted one of my fingernails a color. And so that's my cue when I see it to go into, or to attempt to go into what is called alpha consciousness. You can look it up. It's an actual state of consciousness that's not sleeping, you're awake, but it's not just like normal awake. And that's a nice cue for me. It's been working fairly well, but then I'll forget. I don't even know what state of consciousness I'm in right now. It's alpha-ish. We can say that it's alpha-ish. The point is, we're divine. We're naturally divine, and don't you forget it. Sometimes it's really fun to be mired in the human, in the material, in the earthly, in the mundane, in the sensations and the feelings and the tastes and the smells and everything that comes with having a human body. It can be amazing. It's those moments where there's a lot going on the outside, or even inside in your life, any inner turmoil, anything's going on in your own individual lives, but especially right now in the world, on the brink in so many ways, or it seems on the brink in so many ways, that this spark of divinity that you are, that your human body is around and covering and enveloping, that's when it's most useful to me to remember the divinity within. So, happy 8th anniversary to the Let's Get Meta podcast. I'm going to leave it there for today. As I said, I might be a bit more sporadic in season 9 with publishing episodes as I complete my doctorate, hopefully over the next year. So we'll see what the angels want. I will do my best, as always, to listen to them. We will have bonus content occasionally. I will have bonus content for this particular episode. It is a clearing of anything getting in the way of remembering that we are divine. That is the clearing. That's the bonus content. You can access that at patreon.com/letsgetmeta. All levels of patron angels get access to bonus content. I also do a monthly full moon clearing for people in the full moon tier on Patreon. And that is my availability to give to this endeavor right now. Used to be more, could be less, and that's what it is right now. So I'll leave it there. If you feel called to leave a positive review for the podcast, please do, especially on this 8th anniversary. It'd be so nice. You can leave a 5-star review with a positive word or two very easily on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen to the podcast. And it really does help the episode reach the people who need to hear it. As always, thank you for listening. Stay positive, stay safe, and stay meta.
The Let's Get Metaphysical podcast is an Up, and Awaken production and is produced and hosted by Renata Maniaci. Our intention is to raise the vibration of the planet by sharing, validating, and normalizing spiritual and metaphysical experiences. The Let's Get Meta podcast is inspired by angels and supported by angels. If you would like to be a patron angel of the podcast, visit patreon.com/letsgetmeta. Thank you for listening. Stay meta.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.